Hello everyone, here we go. It is CraftAlong for August. Oh my goodness, it's August and it just feels like, we just celebrated Christmas last year. Anyone else feel like this year's going by really fast? I think it's just one of those things, the older you get, the faster the years seem to go, right? I'm looking through, I see we have a few comments here. And hello to everyone who's already here. We have 10 people here already, so my StreamYard counter says. So if you're looking on YouTube, the number of people that it says are watching on YouTube may not be the same as what I'm seeing because I see YouTube and Facebook all together. So that's why when you look at your counter, it may not look the same as mine. Has everyone had a good day? It's beautiful, beautiful weather, about 23 degrees, which is like perfect weather. You will notice I'm in short sleeves. Yes, I know it's winter, but it doesn't feel like it. The weather thinks it's not winter. I'm not sure what it thinks it is, but it's definitely not winter. Our weather is so warm here lately. It's actually a little bit scary. All right, so I see we have a good crowd. Hello, Sheila. Hi, Joe. Do you prefer Joe or Josephine? Do you like Joe? Because it says Joe on YouTube, but when I got a notification, it said Josephine. So, and Marilyn, how are you? And you won't have to miss it. Your bed has come and been installed. How exciting. Well, you're with us now, so that's awesome. Hello, Margaret. How are you? You were here 104 minutes ago, but now, hello, Jen. Nice to see you. Katrina's here. Tanya's here. We've got a good crowd. Yay. We have Laurie from Ohio. We have Daryl. We have, if you are new to our group, please pop in and say hi. This is the most wonderful community of crafters in this group, and they will absolutely look after you. I love it when we have new people because I've had people say to me before that they feel really welcomed. So that's always really nice. Hello, Linda Carver. How are you? It's Wednesday evening there. Well, it's Thursday afternoon here. So we're coming to you from the future. And I can tell you that the future looks okay. It looks pretty good because the weather is beautiful. Hello, Jennifer from the sunny coast. How are you up there? All right. I am going to switch over to my desk and we'll get going. We have CraftAlong this month. So CraftAlong every month has a different theme. I usually do it right towards the end of the month. Sometimes it's even the last day of the month, but we actually do have a couple of days left of August. But this month our theme is panel cards, and you might be thinking, what the heck is a panel card? I'm kind of thinking of panel cards where you have several panels, usually featuring a designer series paper, and it makes a scene as it goes across the panels. So that's going to make more sense as I show you some of my other cards that we have on offer today as well. But for this particular card, some of you may have made one before. It's a Pinwheel Tower card. Anyone made one of those before? And I could have made it that the scene was continuous as it went across, but that became nearly impossible when I had to cut it up for the number of people I had to cut it for to send out all the supply packs. So I didn't have enough paper, even though I bought 4 packs of the particular DSP pack that I wanted to use. It wasn't quite enough. So some people have got some slightly different coordinating pieces, and we'll talk about that as we go through. So I'm going to switch over to the desk. I'll show you the project and then we'll go through our supply packs for those of you who have them. So give me 1 second. Here we go. All right. So you should have, if you've got a supply pack, if you're wondering who gets a supply pack, supply packs go out to everyone who ordered over $60 worth of product with me the previous month. So if you ordered $60 or more with me in July, then you would have received one of these to make the August project. Same with August. If you're ordering during August, or if you have already or order before the 31st, and your order's over $60, you will receive a supply pack to make the September project. Okay, so that's how I do it every month. It's like my way of saying thank you to my customers for purchasing with me because it really does make a difference. It helps put food on our table and all those good things. So I am so thankful for all the business support that you guys give me. And this is my little way of saying thank you. Okay, so we are going to be doing this card. Now, like I said, it is a pinwheel card. You can see the construction of it from above. And it's called a Pinwheel Tower because when it sits like so, you can actually see that it is actually a tower card here in the middle. Okay, now a couple of weeks ago on my Technique Tuesday, because I do techniques every Tuesday afternoon at 2 p.m., I actually showed different kinds of pinwheel cards where we did flat pinwheel cards. Do you know what I'm talking about? The ones that we were showing the other day. I probably should have had one of those out to show you, but if you look back a couple of weeks ago on a Technique Tuesday, you'll see them. That's here on YouTube, and I also put the samples on my Instagram and Facebook pages as well. But this one is a little bit different. Well, it's quite different. And what is different about this card is that the base is not like a normal card. Okay, so let's get out our pieces and have a look. I know it's like summer, isn't it, Jennifer? Totally like summer. Oh, goodness me. Yes, you've made a pinwheel card before, the tower. So this is not the pinwheel cards that we made a couple of weeks ago. This is a Pinwheel Tower card, which is a different kind of card, and it is a panel card because we have panels of DSP. So first of all, you'll notice in your supply pack, you've got one big piece. You might be able to see there. I've actually got this one scored for you. It is, I've just got to remember, 10.5 centimeters high, and this way from here and here is 11 centimeters. So it's slightly wider than it is high. Okay. Now I could have done it 10.5 by 10.5, which would make it very easy because then it wouldn't matter which way I score it. But the reason I made it 11 this way is because this last panel here, you can see is little. It needs to be big enough that we can put our glue on this. And if you make it too thin, so if I went 10.5 by 10.5, this would be half the size of that. And that could be really hard to get our glue on and to make it glue well together. So that is why it's a little bit wider, and that'll make sense when we make our little, this is the bit for our tower. This is the base. I know that doesn't look like a card base, does it? You might also know that I've made it out of DSP. In the past, when I did some pinwheel cards, I made the tower, the middle bit, out of cardstock. And the problem with using cardstock is it actually adds a lot of bulk to your card because you end up with several layers of this. So, you know, when this is sitting flat, you can see I've actually got it a couple of layers worth in the middle. Now, if I'd made that out of cardstock, that middle bit would be really, really bulky. Okay, so it's actually smart to use DSP. If you must use cardstock, use basic white, what we used to call whisper white. Basic white, not basic white thick, but just the normal basic white, because that is the most compressed form of white and the closest you can get to your DSP. Okay, but all the other colors are a more thicker construction, so I wouldn't be using other color cardstock. I'd probably stick with DSP. All right, then we also have 4 pieces of Night of Navy. Okay, now I did go through and check all the supply packs that went out to make sure they all had the right number of pieces in them. So if you're feeling, and I also had a helper and she and I went over them together, but what I'm double checking as we go through is that we have all the right amount of pieces. So you might want to lay them out. Okay, so we've got 4 pieces of Night of Navy. Okay, then we also have 4 pieces of DSP. Now these navy pieces, if you're wondering, these measure 10.5 by 7.4. Okay, and you're thinking, why 7.4? That's a weird, because 7.4 is exactly dividing a full sheet of cardstock lengthways in 4 pieces. Okay, so if you went 7.5, then you won't actually be able to get a whole card out of one piece of paper. You'd actually need a second piece. So yeah, that will get you the full length of the paper divided by 4 is 7.4. Okay, then we also have 2 DSP pieces. Now you'll notice these are actually going to be able to fit onto our navy pieces with a little bit of a border all the way. So these are slightly smaller. These pieces are 10 centimeters by 7. Okay, so 2 of those. I'm using the Winter Meadow paper, if you're wondering what it is. 2 of those, and then 2 coordinating pieces. All right, so I've picked, this is actually the reverse piece of this, so you can see that's what that is on the back. All right, so you could have them, if you wanted to, you could have them all the same side. You might decide to do them all with this, or you might decide to do them all with this. But seeing as some of these pieces didn't have as much on them, then it kind of made sense for me to choose the other side, and I did mine this way, but you don't have to. You could do them all the same if you want to, and that will look really good. Okay, so has everyone got these pieces Yes, very different to the Technique Tuesday pinwheel cards. Completely different, Jen. I'm just looking. Yes. So Valerie's answering Anne's question where she is. She's in British Columbia, Canada. Which part of British Columbia are you in? Are you in Vancouver, or are you over on Vancouver Island, or up the coast a bit? Such a beautiful place, British Columbia. I got to spend some time there some years ago. 1993, myself and a girlfriend decided to travel across Canada, and we started in Vancouver and Vancouver Island and spent a bit of time there. And then we traipsed all the way over to Quebec and Nova Scotia, right over the other side. So we had a fantastic time, got to see a lot of Canada, and it's a wonderful, beautiful country, that's for sure. Yeah, it is fun, Leslie. I know, right? I'm just going through all the comments as much as I can. You've got the aircon going in the house. Oof, that sounds like it is definitely warm if you need the aircon, right? Let me see. Up the coast a bit. What, Whistler? Are you up that far? It's such a beautiful part of the world. It's so beautiful. Okay, so now we've got these 4 navy pieces and then these 4 DSP pieces. Up to you if you want to use the same sides or do 2 of each. All right, then we need 2 more DSP pieces. Now these ones are measured smaller, and you might notice when I realized how much it was going to use, I had to sort of get a bit creative and start using some of the other sides. Okay, now this does still go with this because we have these colors here in the foliage. So even though it's not the same, it kind of looks nice. Now these 2 pieces are 10 by 4.5. Okay, 10 by 4.5 is the measurements of those. Now, if you are if you got the supply pack, you don't need to worry about the measurements because you're going to get a PDF later today, probably. It should be today. I'm making it a mission to get it done today. A PDF that'll actually have all the measurements in it for you. And it has measurements in both imperial and in metric so that you could make the cards no matter where you are. So if you want to rely on those PDF measurements, they'll all be there for you. I'm trying to tell you as much as I can while we're going through, but it will be in the PDF document. Not Whistler. Okay. Oh, okay. Horseshoe Bay, maybe? I'm trying to think about, because we got to spend some time up there and it's so beautiful. Okay. So then also these 2 pieces, there's also 2 pieces of white because you have to write your greetings somewhere, right? So 2 pieces, and these are the same size as, these are the 2 sizes, these 2, so 4.5 by 10. Okay, so 2 white and 2 DSP pieces of those. All right, we're getting there. Nearly done. Then you're going to need a scrap of white to cut a sentiment. I've used one of the ovals from the Greetings of the Season tag dies. And that's pretty much it. That's everything you need. Oh, one other thing that's in your 2 other things that are in your supply packs. You'll have some beautiful sheer ribbon that's got the silver edge. I love this ribbon. So beautiful. This one and the iridescent striped ribbon are my 2 favorite ribbons right now. Just gorgeous. And then also we have a couple of bits of bling in there for you. We have the silver metallic adhesive back gems. So I hope that everyone's got all those pieces because that's what you should have if you've received a supply pack from me. Okay. There you go, Valerie. Oh, I bet it's gorgeous up there. Just beautiful. All right. So I'm going to put together the tower first. So we're going to start with this piece that's got the score lines on it, this one. Okay, so let's move all these out of the way. And I'm just going to, I know where they all are, these pieces. And let's start with this. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to, now, it doesn't matter which side you go, okay, because no one's actually going to see it. The only way you can see anything of the tower card is if you look down inside, you might be able to see a little bit of it in there. And that's it. You don't see the outside of it at all. It's completely covered. So I think it would be nice if I'm going to see anything. I like this blue bit. So I'm going to fold these all the same way. And then I'm going to use my bone folder and I'm going to go over them. Okay, so, whoops, dropping stuff all over the place. So I'm going to pop these on here. Now, if anyone wants more details about, and I should have said this to start with, if you see me using something and you think you want it, everything you see me using in this video is available for purchase. Okay, so I've put my links. If you're in Australia, you can shop with me, and I've put all my links in the description below this video. If you go down there, just click the more button below this YouTube video, and it will take you to the full description. All right, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting glue along this small channel here, and then you can see how I folded this so that that's in the middle. When I fold this one over, it meets there. So that is the easiest way to glue it. Okay, so you can use Tombow, you can use seal, you can use tape, whatever you would like. If you're using seal, it's quick and easy, but let me just grab out some tape just for those people who like tape. I'm going to use tape, and I'm going to put the tape right there along that, almost just inside that score line. It's called tear and tape because you can tear it. You can cut it if you want to, but you don't have to. And then I'm going to peel the back off it, which is always the hardest part, right? Let me find there we go. I think I've almost got it. No. I think that's one reason why I don't use tape that often, because it's really hard to get the backing off at times. Okay, there it goes. Now I'm going to fold this over, making sure that I'm in line, and we're just going to push it down. Okay, now when you pick that up, we have a perfect little tower. Okay, and this is the Pinwheel Tower card base. Easy, right? All right, so the next thing we need to do is we need to start gluing on these guys. But actually, before I do that, you can do this now, or you can do it later. I'm thinking, which way will I go? You can put these on first if you want to. Okay, I alternated them. I did one and then this one. Oh, I just realized I cut that one wrong. I hope no one else has got one that's cut wrong. That's cut slightly too long. So it's cut to be 10.5, and both of them are. So if yours is not fitting on your piece, this should be, these are 10.5, so these should be 10. All right, and these two are too long. Oh, I hope I didn't do that with everybody. But if I did, it's easy to fix, right? It's better to be too long than too short. We can fix it. So that's 10. That's better. So this is going to fit. And then these ones are going to fit like that. But I'm alternating them. So I'm putting, which way will I go? Have them going that way, and then that way, and so on. Okay, so that's, you kind of alternate them like that. So you can glue those now if you want to, or you can glue them when they're already on here. So sometimes I think it's easier to glue them when you're on here, because you know you're not going to forget which way they go, but it doesn't really matter. So yeah, maybe I'll just put them on first. So I'm going to use seal, and I'm just going to pop them on. But probably a good idea to test them out first to make sure that they're the right size before you start gluing, because if you need to cut them down, it's easier before you glue them on, that's for sure. So 1, 2, 3. Snoring. Oh, that's not very nice, Ali. I'm sure. Does he take offense to that, or is he okay? This paper is so beautiful. If you haven't, we've got paper on sale this month, and the sale will end on the 31st, which means you've only got until Saturday to actually buy the paper at a discount. So if you love this paper, I'd be rushing in and getting it while you can, because it is super, super beautiful. It's called Winter Meadow, and I'm actually using it for this one and another of my alternates this month. So super nice. Aren't these lovely? Right. If you don't have Night of Navy, you could also use Misty Moonlight instead of Night of Navy. Both of them are going to go fine, because as you can see, there's Misty Moonlight and Navy in these papers. Just gorgeous. You received the paper this morning, Elaine. That's fantastic. It's really, really lovely. Hello, Joan. How are you? Hi. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how late you are. All right. So the way this is going to go, and I'll just show you first, is it doesn't matter where you start on the tower. Makes no difference, okay? you're going to put this, you're going to put it flat on the ground, and then this one is going to go onto the left-hand side piece. These are the same height, all right, so that when you open this up, it's going to go out like so. All right, so you're actually going to be gluing it just to the tower, and then the next one will go here, and the next one will go, and so on. Oh, I know, I'm not showing that very well, am I? That's terrible. All right, so let's start with this one, and I'm going to put my glue this time on the tower, not on this piece. It's usually smart whenever you're doing gluing to always put your glue onto the smaller piece of whatever it is that you're gluing, and in this case the smaller piece is the tower. So I'm just lining up those corners. I'm going to stick it down. So can you see how we've got that stuck down there? Like so. All right. Now the next one, you're going to flatten it again. Okay. And we're going to put the next one on. And it's going to go on the next panel here. So you're going to work your way around. So this is actually like the bare bones of the card. And then at the end we get to decorate it. But because the card is so pretty with this beautiful paper, you don't need to decorate it a lot. All right. Right. Let's turn it again. Now we've got this next panel. Let's grab that. So each one will be next to the piece that you've just glued. And that one was one of these. So this time we're alternating with one of these. And so on. And then next one. Now this one you can see, this is the last one because we've already got this one covered. So I'm going to make sure I put my adhesive on that top part. And I'm going to line up those two corners again. How's everyone doing? Am I going too fast or is this about right? Oh, that sounds nice, Cheryl. That's very, very peaceful sounding. All right. So now when we lift this up, our pinwheel is kind of done. All right. Now we still have some more decorating to do. We've got these pieces here where the navy is showing. Now, I guess you could, if you wanted to, just leave it like that. But of course I did not. You can see that I've actually got some pieces over here. And this is where I ran out of all of these pieces. Okay, so some of you may have those and some of you instead may have some other ones. Like there's some like a grey smushy pattern on the back of this one and then some trees. And I thought the trees looked really nice actually with the... And you've got to decide which one you want to have because there's this one and then some of you may have these trees on the back of that is like a smushy pattern. So if you want it to go, the smushy pattern to go here next to this one, then the alternate ones in between would be the white, okay, because we've got these white pieces as well. But you might decide you want your white ones next to the white, next to the blue, and then your green is going to go, or your other color is going to go on these pieces. So can you see where these pieces go? I kind of like it next to this one because it pulls out this color here, the like the pretty peacock and Lost Lagoon that's in this. So I think I'll go with that. And they're all going to look good. Okay, all these colors look beautiful together. So don't worry too much about which one goes next to which. I'm just going to sort of pick one and go with it. And I'm going to pop that one there in that space, which means the next one is going to be a white. Now, up to you. You can see when I did my whites, I actually did a bit of stamping. Don't have to do that if you don't want to, but you can. So I did some leaves here. Now, I used some leaves from the Golden Greenery set, which is this one here. You don't, like I said, you don't have to do this, but I'm just going to do a little bit of that. And I think it looks nice. So if you have like some sort of greenery kind of a stamp like we have here, actually end up put that better on there, then you know you could add that. If you don't have anything suitable, it doesn't really need to have something. Okay, so this one here looks like that. Then the next one is going to be a white. That means the next one is going to be a DSP piece. So this one I'm going to put, doesn't that look nice? Those trees next to this looks really lovely. Love that. All right, so I'm going to put some glue behind here. Everyone's chatting away in the comments. Now, if what I'm doing here is not making sense to anyone, please just sing out so I can stop and help wherever I'm needed. Right, so can you see how these are coming together? Looks good, doesn't it? All right, so let's do a little bit of stamping on here. And because we have, I'm thinking, what colors will we do? We could go, because there's a bit of color over here and there's blue here, we could go with blue leaves like what these are. Or we could go with some pretty peacock, which would look really nice. What do you guys think? What do you think about pretty peacock? Shall I do that? I'm waiting to see what people think about the color. So my options would be pretty peacock or misty moonlight. Either one of those are going to look good. Anyone got any thoughts on this? And is anyone here actually making the project along with me? Who's crafting with me today? Or are we all going to craft later? Pretty peacock, says Valerie. Blue, says Leslie. Pretty peacock, peacock, peacock. Okay, pretty peacock it is. Valerie was the first, so I'm going to go with that one. And I'm just going to pop this over. And I'm thinking just down the bottom there, and I don't want it to be too dark and I don't want to have it too high because I want to be able to write something here. But what you can do is use a scrap piece of paper and stamp this off and do a second stamping if you would like to with just the lighter color, and that looks really rather nice. Okay, so there's one piece. And because I've done it from the bottom on this one, or the top if I hold it the other way, right? What I can do, make sure I've got this is the right size. Is that the one? Yes, it is. I might go from the other side. Actually, and I don't even need to stamp that one off. That looks nice too. All right, so I've got one from the top and one from the bottom. Okay, so looks rather good. Oh, you got left behind. Well, Tanya, that's what replays are for. And you can't not answer the call when hubby rings, right? So totally get it. Right, so I'm thinking this one maybe from the bottom and then this one maybe from the top. Right, let's do that. So I'm going to, I think I've managed to get pretty peacock on my fingers and transferred some of that. And it's also a little bit here, so I need to wipe up, don't I? I was cleaning my glass mat before, and Cookie, I think Cookie, the noise was quite noisy and you know, squeaky sounding, and Cookie got a bit, he started flapping his wings, and I don't think he loved the sound actually. All right, and this one. So you've got a place to write now because of these white pieces. All right, so that one was from the top. Hang on, my top or bottom? I'm just going to remember. Okay, that's the right way up because these trees need to be the right way up. So if you are using the trees, now this one I've got going from the top, so this one I'm going to have going from the bottom. Oh, you should find out what the movie was, Cheryl. That sounds like a good idea. All right, so now we're very close to finished our pinwheel card. It's very, very easy, as you can see. This is an easy project, right? He's quiet. Yeah, he's been calling out. He tends to be quieter in the afternoons because that's his nap time. So he's not actually napping. I can see he's moving around, but he's not as animated as he is in the mornings or in the evenings. So there you go. All right, so I'm deciding where I want to make the front of my card. So on this one, I liked the way this looked here, and I decided to make the front of my card this piece. Okay, so I made it one of the mottled Misty Moonlight pieces, and I called that the front. All right, so basically you just turn it until you think, yeah, I really like that. And the thing is, these ones, are, you know, I could use it on here. That would actually look fine. So I've got one of these pieces already here, and that actually would look quite nice. But I could choose one of the other pieces if I wanted to. I don't want to do it on this one. I really like that piece, actually. So I'm actually going to do it on here. And I didn't really want to do it on one of the ones that I had the matching white. I wanted to keep those like for the inside. So I'm going to put it on this piece because this is a little busier, this piece here. And I'm going to stamp. Now I can use Night of Navy or I can use Misty Moonlight. Either one will work fine. I usually pick a darker color for my sentiments, but both of those are dark enough that they would both be fine. And on my original card, on this one here, I used the Season's Greetings out of the Greetings of the Season. This one right here. Okay, that Season's Greetings is the one that I've used right there. Okay, and it looks really nice, but I'm going to use a different one because I'm actually fallen a little bit in love with the Season's Greetings from the new Decorative Trees set. So this is a set that's coming out on the 4th of September for anyone who is following along and would like to grab it on the 4th. It's a really good one. Now I like this one because this Season's Greetings has what I call mixed fonts. And by that I mean we've got the word seasons is in a scrolly font and the word greetings is in a straight up and down font. There it is right there. You can see it on the cover. And I love it when they mix fonts together. I just think that looks really good. They've mixed fonts in all of those 4 sentiments there. This one, no, but the other 4, they have put down like mixed fonts together. And that just looks so classy, I think. So what I'm going to do is I've already got my my little oval. Now you'll notice it does have a hole on one end because it's from the tags, the Greetings of the Season tags. I'm actually going to use my Night of Navy ink and I'm going to ink that up and I'm going to stand up so I can actually see clearly where I'm going. And I've got my oval on my grid so that my grid is going straight across because it makes it easier. If you use a grid, it makes it easier to line up your sentiments or anything else, but particularly sentiments. So they're straight. And we love that, right? Right, so let's close my ink pad so I don't stick my fingers in it. And then I'm going to use a couple of dimensionals. Nearly finished this sheet, actually. And I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back here, like so. All right, just like that. We'll take them off and we're going to put it straight onto our card on whatever piece that you've designated to be the front. And I'm going to pop that right there like so. Looks good. Now, remember in your packs, you've got a couple of those little silver metallic gems. All right, we've got these. So you've got 2. And one of them is going to help you cover up the hole. So instead of looking like a tag, this just looks like a label. And then we're going to match one up on the other side. Some of you will have the big silver pieces from the gems and some of you will, oh, there's a little cat hair in there. That's not good. The cats are actually sleeping. That's why there's neither of them around at the moment. All right, so you can see there I've put I've got the small ones. The small ones just cover the hole. The bigger ones actually give you a little bit more space, but either way, you've got either too small or too big. Okay, so there we go. Oh, everyone's here. Oh, Susan, I have a question for you. This is a weird question. I'll email you. It's a strange question. Okay. So this is almost done. Now, the last thing in your packs is this beautiful length of the sheer white ribbon with the silver edges. Isn't it beautiful? And starting down one end, you're going to tie it. Okay, so I'm going to tie it fairly close to the end because I want to make sure I have plenty of ribbon to work with. And I'm going to pop that through and I'm going to pull the ends. I only want a small bow. I don't want a big bow. And I'm going to keep pulling the ends until I'm happy with the size of my bow. If you need to put your fingers into the loop to puff them out a little bit, then don't ever let anyone tell you that ribbons and bows are easy peasy to tie. You do get better at them the more practice you have, but you do, even anyone who's even good at tying bows, you'll see them fiddling around to get their bows exactly right, and that's just the way it is. So bows don't just land easily every time. You usually have to fiddle with them to get them looking good. All right, so I'm going to, it's about a 25 centimeter length of ribbon in everyone's pack. You love weird? You're my kind of person, Susan. All right, so then this is going to go down here like this, and I'm going to pop that on with a glue dot. Glue dots are the best. If ever you have a question, you think, how should I stick whatever it is on? The answer is usually a glue dot, because they're great for sticking random things on with, right? So you're going to stick this on. This is how I use my glue dots. I stick it onto the dot, still attached to the tape in the pack, and I press it really hard with my thumb, nice and firm. Okay, then I pull that off, and the glue dot comes too. And then we're just going to position that right there at the bottom of my sentiment. And there you go. That's our pinwheel card. It's so easy. What do you think? Now, it takes me a while to get my bows right too, Valerie. Sometimes you might be lucky and they go right the first time, you know, but it doesn't happen very often. It's always, I always feel like I should probably go out and buy a lottery ticket if my bow works right the first time. But that hasn't worked for me so far. But anyway. All right, so there you go. We've got a couple. Everyone's going to have something that's going to look kind of like this, right? Yeah, I love this fold too. It's just, it is really lovely to display. Okay, looks really, really good displayed. I mean, how can that be bad, right? And sitting on a mantelpiece or a display counter or a sideboard or something. And it's a fun card to send to somebody. Okay, so they're going to open this up and go, oh, wow, that's cool. And then they'll see your lovely greeting inside, and yeah, it's like one of those what do they call it? Was it not everlasting card? What are those cards called that you just keep turning the pages, turning? Oh, thank you, Jen. I'm glad you think so. All right, so that's this month's card. Who wants to see the alternate panel cards for this month? Anybody? Because I've got them to show you. All right, so starting with the never-ending card. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, guys. A few of you know what that is. I knew it was something like that, but I just couldn't remember the name of it. Well, these are a little bit like a never-ending card because you can just turn them over and over and over, right? They keep turning. Not quite the same, but it's a cool little thing anyway. All right. So we are going to be looking at various others. So I've done panel cards this month, and you'll see I've got 2 samples of each. One sample is the sample I made originally, and the second sample is the one that's in the video that I have made to go along with all of these projects. Okay, so this is just a simple, the most basic, simple panel card. In fact, I'm pretty sure Denise made some a bit like this a few weeks ago or recently on one of her videos, but this is the simplest, I think it's probably the simplest fold, fancy fold, fun fold card that you could possibly have. All right, so super, super easy. And the nice thing is that the panel is one scene. It's one piece of DSP cut into 3 pieces. So you get the whole scene going from one side to the other. Okay, it looks really, really good. I use the Thoughtful Wishes bundle. This is Thoughtful Journey paper, also on sale until the 30th. And then I've also added one of the stamps from the Thoughtful Wishes set. Okay, so really, really, if you're looking for quick and easy, these are fantastic. All right, really, really quick, easy cards. Then the next card that I did, let me find it. Oh, it's not in the package. It's not in my box. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Found it. I must have taken them out. All right, so a couple of different versions. This is a screen panel card, and they sit like so. Okay, I have used some brand new paper for this one. This is actually paper called Sentimental Christmas, and you can see that the tree sort of swings through from left to right, and you've got, you know, some of this beautiful foliage coming out on the right hand side. Yeah, she does make beautiful cards, Marilyn. She's very clever, very, very clever. And then when you turn over to the back, there's somewhere there to write. Okay. And the last piece of that DSP, because you actually get 5 panels if you're going from one side to the other, and I've just got 4 there. Yeah, so you can see that was my original sample. I used a punch to do the bases, and then this one I've used a different, well, I've used the same punch actually, but a different way of showing that punch. And this is the same paper, but this is the top half of the paper. So this half is the bottom half with the trees and the foliage going across the bottom, and then the top half has the top bit of foliage and a lantern. Okay, so these, once again, on the back you've got your place to write there, and this is also another nice card to display, like the base on the third card. Okay, I'm not sure which one you mean, Anne. which is the third card? Is this the third card? Is this what we mean? Because so there's 5 cards altogether, and these ones are all alternate designs, also panel cards, but different types of panel cards. All right, so yeah, they're fun. They're really fun. And then the next one is, some of you may have seen these. The next one is a bay window card. And this is my bay window card. Now for this one, I used the Winter Meadow paper again, and I did a couple of different versions. I did a black one. So they fold flat, okay? And then this piece slides under here, so it becomes a bay window, okay? So super nice, once again, to display, inside to somewhere to write. Very easy cards, but they I think they work really, really well for this type of panel. Okay, so you've got a picture that goes from one side to the other right across, and if you follow along you can see, you know, reindeers and all sorts of little things in there. So they're super fun. It is beautiful paper. Okay, super, super nice paper. So yep, I really, really like these. Now I did do these originally. I did black, okay, a black base, because the paper is mostly shades of gray. not 50 of them, no, just a few shades of gray. Okay, and then we have a little bit of black in there as well. So I decided to just go with black, but then I decided, well, that's a little bit boring. I mean, it's okay, but it's a little bit boring. So we can actually use any of our neutral colors, even though there's all these different grays in here. You can use any of our neutrals. Now, Stampin' Up in their wisdom a few years ago took Night of Navy and Misty Moonlight and Mossy Meadow and Blackberry Bliss out of the regals and stuck them in the neutrals, and everyone went, what are they doing? But you know what? We do use the those colors as neutral. So you can use navy with this and it looks fine. And if you're matching your ink to the base, then it kind of pulls it all together. So you could do it with the Mossy Meadow, you could do it with Blackberry Bliss, any of those neutral colors, it's going to work. Okay, so I think it comes together really nicely. Okay, great. So that's your bay window card, which is this one. And then we have the final card, and this one is it's a pop-up panel card. Okay, so I did my version of it. I did come across one that had been done by Laura Buchler. I hope I'm saying that correctly. She's in Canada too. But she had done a version of this, and I've done mine in metric and changed it up a little bit. Hers was in imperial. But this is how it works. When you open it, you can see you have the pop-up panels inside. It's actually really easy to do. It's not hard at all. And I did, as you can see, a couple of these. They look pretty much the same. But I really like how that came together. And this is the pop-up panel card. Okay, so this is your last one, the number 5. So the cards that we have this month, we have the pop-up panel. And then we have this one that we've just made. Okay, so the Pinwheel Tower. Then we have the Z-fold, simple Z-fold. I'll just put one out of each one because otherwise I'm going to get myself completely overwhelmed, aren't I? So let's put them in order. This one first, then this is the next one. Then we have our screen panel card, this one. And then we have the bay window card. And then we have the pop-up panel card. Okay, so these are all the cards that we have this month that are part of this Craft Along series, and I think they're really nice. I think this is I think if you were looking for some special cards to make for people but still easy, these are really good ones to follow along and make. Okay, so I hope that you like them. I had a lot of fun making them. And the way Craft Along works, if you purchased with me last month $60 or more here in Australia, then this month If you did that in July, then this month you are going to receive the PDF and all the step-by-step videos to make these projects. Okay, so it has all the instructions step by step and then all the measurements as well. Okay, so that's how CraftAlong works. That's what I do. However, you can also purchase them. So, oh, and if you're in my team, you also get these. Okay, I send these out at the end of the month for my team members. If, however, you're not in my team, or maybe you're not even in Australia, or maybe you're not one of my customers, you can still purchase these. It's $15 to get all the tutorials and the step-by-step instructions plus measurements for these. Okay, so the step-by-step instructions are videos. I've already recorded those. I am still working on the final measurements, so that will be finished by tonight. That's my plan, is to have all the measurements in the PDF done by tonight and get those sent out. So it will be on my blog tonight. I'm going to put the blog address up on the screen for you. Here you go, lhiggins.blogspot.com. It will be on the website there tonight, and there'll be a PayPal button that you can use to pay for those if you want to. Now, if you're having trouble, you either don't, you don't need to have a PayPal account to use PayPal, but if you're having trouble paying by PayPal, just send me a message to my email, and that email address you can find through the blog as well, or send me a message on Facebook or even on YouTube. It doesn't matter to me. I'm very happy for you to message me however you wish, and we'll get you sorted. Okay, so if Pinterest is not Pinterest, PayPal is not an option for you, I'm sure we can find another way. Okay, so but if you go lhiggins.blogspot.com, there will be a purchase now button that will set you up with a PayPal link, and you don't need to have a PayPal account to use PayPal. You just need an email address. So there you go. I like PayPal because it's PayPal is very secure, and they're very safe to use. So you can nominate for the money to come out of a specific account, but it's all looked after and protected. And then you know, I use either a credit card or I use my personal account when I use PayPal, one or the other, depending on what kind of a purchase I'm making. And I find it really good. The couple of times that there was one time that my son got scammed online, and he'd made his payment for a drum kit that was about $800 or $900, and he made that through PayPal. And when he reported that it was a scam and he didn't receive his product, PayPal immediately refunded him his money. So they're really, really good about looking after you, and I trust them. They're pretty great. So there we go. Okay, I'm going to switch back to me. Here I am. Hello. Okay, does anyone have any questions at this point? Let me go back to the comments. Oh, I'm glad you like the cards. Does anyone have any questions about anything we've done today, or anything that oh, good. And Anne, you're in the team, so that means you'll get those instructions, so you will be able to make those designs. Yeah, they're not too fiddly. They're actually very, very easy ones. I'm not a big fan of fiddly, really. Occasionally, if something's a little bit fiddly, I'll tell you so. I mean, it needs to be really worth it. There's sometimes there's a saying that I always like, that, you know, sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze. You know, it's worth the fiddly for the result, but sometimes it's just not. And I don't like getting too fiddly. I like making simple cards that are easy, especially if I decide I want to mass produce them and make several for, you know, for Christmas or a swap, or something that I need several cards for. So I'm really glad you like the cards today, guys. That's really great. So the one that we made, I'd love to see if anyone ends up making theirs up. I'd love it if you were able to post in the private VIP group for those of you who have those. I'll put that address up on the screen as well, in case. There it is there. It's Linda Dawkins on Facebook. Linda Dawkins private Stampin' VIP group. In that group, I post a few things that sometimes a little bit more what's relevant to Australia and what we're doing here, and I also post a few fun things in there as well. So occasionally we might do a giveaway, and we do that in there, those sorts of things, because that's my Australian group. So if you're in Australia, you're very welcome to be part of that group, and that's where you find it on Facebook. If you search for Linda Dolke's private Stampin' VIP group, you'll see it come up there. And then the last thing I wanted to say to you is, if you would like to receive a newsletter from me, I normally send out a weekly newsletter. I last sent one out on Monday, so there's already one gone for this week. But normally I send a weekly newsletter that just keeps you up to date with what's new, new projects, new items, specials, how-to videos, all that kind of stuff shows up in the newsletter. So if you'd like to be part of that, doesn't matter where in the world you are, you can be part of that. I think I've done a bit of self-promotion today. I hope no one minds, but that's how you can find me, and that's how you can be part of what it is that I'm doing. Oh, yeah. It'd be great if you could watch the replay, Moira. It's awesome. Oh, Sheila's asking if I'm going to clean my desk. Just checking. You know what? Susan has inspired me because she's currently, and she even last time she even sent me a picture of her clean desk after I asked her if she was going to clean up her desk. So she sent me a picture of it. Yes, I'm going to clean my desk also. And I've been trying to keep my space a little bit more in check because Susan has inspired me. I'm seeing how beautiful it looks, all clean and nice and organized, and I'm trying to do something along those lines as well. All right. Last thing I'll tell you before we go ahead is that the new catalog starts on the 4th of September. I'm mentioning this a couple of times this week because I've been telling everyone it was the 3rd. It isn't. I'm so sorry. It's the 4th. And that's a little bit unusual. They usually started on a Tuesday, but this time it's starting on a Wednesday. And I think it's because there's a public holiday in the US on the Monday. So it's to give them an extra day when they have that public holiday. So that's probably why it's the 4th of September that we will be live on the new catalog. I will be doing a Zoom class next month for people who purchase a particular bundle from me. And I'm still deciding, guys. I can't decide between decorative trees and the humble home. Both of them are really nice. The humble home is probably going to have more people buying because it's a punch and everyone loves a punch bundle. You don't even need a cut and emboss machine for that. And then I also but the decorative trees is really, really pretty, and I'm tempted by that as well. So still deciding, haven't decided yet, but it'll be one or the other of those two. They're the ones. A lot of people have said the 3rd. Yes, I know. It caught a few of us out. So, and I think it's also because there was one spot on the website where it did say the 3rd, and that's now been fixed. But I think a lot of people were going off that information. So it is what it is, right? You have both sets. Yay, Sheila. So I'll be offering that next month. And once again, it will be open to customers first. Okay, I will open it up to customers first, and everyone who buys the particular bundle will be entitled automatically to do the Zoom with me for free if they'd like. Then I will offer it up to team members if we have a few of those. Last time we had a few of those who wanted to be part of it. And then finally, I'll open it up to customers if there's enough space. Sorry, customers, not customers, people who purchase the class, because last time we allowed people to purchase the Zoom for $15. So, but you would need to have the set bundle for that to be the case. Oh, and stylish shapes. Do you know, I did end up, those Technique Tuesday Technique Tuesday video that I did last month with the you guys know the ones I mean. Let me see if I got one sitting here. I might have one. The ones where we had the emboss resist, the watercolor emboss resist, and we did this, and there was also a flower card, and I've posted those 2 cards in the last couple of days on my in my groups, but I did end up using Stylish Shapes dies on both of those cards, Sheila, because I can't help myself. I love the Stylish Shapes. I still think they're the best die set we have. That's okay, Julianne. You can always watch the replay. Don't ever worry about being late. It's never a problem. I'm just seeing if I've missed any comments. Have I missed any questions? 2:55. I try and keep these videos under an hour, but I finished a little earlier today, so that let me chat a little bit at the end. So if anyone has any questions you'd like to ask me before I chuff off, then please do. Does anyone have anything you need to know? Any questions about today's cards or the instructions or how it works? And if you have any questions like that, then please do come back to me. If anyone's after the measurements for the public video, I did put those on my blog earlier in the week. So it's only all the measurements for the other cards that I'm not publishing those. Everyone's gone really quiet, so I'm assuming that means that either you're all talked out or chatted out, or it's time for me to go, right? All right, you guys, have a beautiful Thursday, what's left of it, and those of you overseas, have a nice Wednesday evening, and I will be back live again tomorrow evening, Friday night at 7:30 Sydney time. So that's a bit later than this, so I know it doesn't always suit everyone overseas, but it works well for me and hopefully works well for some of you as well. Hey Lynn, nice to see you there. Oh, hey Judy. All right, yes, enjoy the replay. I feel like I've chatted on long enough now, but I hope that you're all well, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks, guys. Bye.